everyone, welcome to ISBAT University's webinar series. This is Mohammed Shamim, IT infrastructure architect and a cybersecurity expert by profession. Today's series we are going to discuss about what are the different careers in cybersecurity. More to say about cybersecurity, it is one of the exciting and a fascinating career, and it's more thrilling. It thrills you the way we design the defensive mechanism, understanding the loopholes, building an architecture to protect it. Mostly it is talking about, also we do cyber forensics. It's just like hunting for cyber crimes. When we take the cybersecurity career, there is no linear path or a designated path that you should take this. It's all about one's passion. As long as you are an IT graduate or an IT professional, you can step in it at any time. You can choose your profession of cybersecurity anytime is what I mean. It has become a more demanding profession. Needless to say, it is also highly paid. Let's have a deeper look into it. What is cybersecurity? So for anyone who is hearing this term for the first time or has some idea about it, let me give you the real definition of cybersecurity. Cybersecurity is the practice of protecting systems, networks, and programs from digital attacks or cyber attacks. Mostly these cyber attacks are usually aimed at accessing, changing, or destroying sensitive information, extorting money from users, or interrupting normal business process. In a very simple term, it's a process of protecting servers, desktops, mobile phones, and any form of electronic gadgets from malicious attacks. So we have different types of cybersecurity: infrastructure security, network security, and information security. So the infrastructure security something is like, as I mentioned earlier, like protecting your servers, your infrastructure. Like it's infrastructure is made of different components: routers, switches, any electronic components or electronic devices which is internet connected. Network security is something like protecting your network from any intrusions, because most of the cyber attacks are performed using network. So I can say this is a major component as part of your cyber security. Information security, the data, maybe what we store, data breaches, encrypting the data in transits, so protecting them. So in general, these are the three classifications: infrastructure, network, and information security. The importance of cybersecurity. Almost all organizations have been hacked, even if they don't know it. I remember a famous CEO was saying there are only two types of organizations: those that know that they have been hacked, and those that don't yet know that they have been hacked. This means we are all going to be a victim. If we are not having a proper cybersecurity mechanisms, organizations will fall as a victim. As organizations rely on more heavily on technology to help manage and simplify their day-to-day operations, the threat of cybercrime continues to escalate. Taking an example of a finance institution like a commercial bank, they were been doing online banking, SMS banking, mobile banking. That means they rely on technologies much, which means most of the systems can be attacked, and the result of attack could end up in a very huge cost. As you hear about Internet of Things, everything has been now connected digitally. So gaining access to those or get that devices attacked or continue moving into this, they start penetrating into the device and they start taking the control of it. So it's very important. As in a simple term I can mention, cybersecurity is a very important nowadays, as you see that every devices has to be protected, so we need that exactly. So why it is so crucial? You see, the cyber crimes estimated to have costed the world 2 trillion so far in 2019. According to recent research, cybersecurity ventures predicted in 2017 that damages would hit $6 trillion by 2021, prompting global spending of roughly 10 billion in cybersecurity measures by 2027 to protect against these catastrophic losses. What does it mean? As I was telling you, these organizations, when they get attacked, they lose millions and thousands of trillions of dollars. A quick note, it is not that all cybersecurity attacks is revealed. There are things happening. Each and every day the attacks are happening and people are losing. So it's very crucial that cybersecurity has to be addressed. So this is the right time for us to address, and we need to bring down this cost. It's not just the big companies, as I told you. We have the end users happening on the end, losing data. Their smartphones are hacked, the smartwatches are hacked, your car is being hacked. So it's in a nutshell. So we can see some of the types of cyber threats actually. So we have attacks on confidentiality, attacks on integrity, attacks on availability, social engineering, phishing attacks, unpatched softwares, social media threats, advanced persistent threats. So these are some of the threats that you have been trying to hear of. Basically what does it mean is whenever we are using our computer or whenever we are using our servers or anything, we are going to be fall as a victim by falling as one of these, experiencing one of these attacks. So these are the type of cyber attacks, as you can see: sending a malware to a computer, sending a phishing email, or just making the computers to be giving access to some other computer. We have man-in-the-middle attacks. These attackers are always online, sniffing data between one computer to another computer, and they have been keep sniffing data. Those things that what we have been hearing as the news, they are all true. When you have been having a chance to come to see them, you will see what I am reading was true. People are sniffing their data. They are continuously sniffing data, and they could able to get potential information, and they can make use of it. So we also have denial of service attack by sending a continuous traffic to a system and making them busy, where that things can be diverted or the reputation is lost. And we have cross-site scripting, where people gain access to the websites. They try to gain access to the codes. Usually they are the vulnerabilities found on those websites can be used. So let us talk about what are cyber crimes. As I was mentioning earlier, the words and phrases that scares us, which was existed some decades ago, are now part of our everyday language. The criminals use new technologies to commit cyber attacks against governments, business and individuals. They are finding all new techniques. So what is something that I want to explain here is, whenever we develop a system or when we implement a system, if that particular system has vulnerabilities, people can really penetrate into, and they can just gain access to the system, and they can do whatever they want. They can cause harm to us. So a person who does this has committed a cyber crime. So this is a chart talking about cybercrime damages. In 2015, US has lost almost $325 million. In 2017, they lost almost $5 billion. So you can see the graph. They are gradually growing. Actually, the cost is not about talking about the US alone. It's a worldwide. That is, the mention is on US dollars. So in 2021, we are expected to have almost like $20 billion, which is a huge money. So this is the right time for us to get into the game and start bringing down this cost. Did you know that cyber attacks are the modern warfare technique? These days people don't fight with weapons with the enemy countries just to bring down their economies, or they don't do that. They just be on their country and they try to launch an attack on the systems, the finance systems, government agencies, which would make the targeted government to pay a substantial cost. So in general, there's no war with weapons like guns, launching missiles, right? I can just sit in and a cyber security person will be sitting in the room and he try to protect his systems so such that we can really avoid that attacks. But as I was mentioning, attacks nowadays can come from any way to your systems. So cyber attacks is the modern warfare technique. So the need of cybersecurity professionals are increasing. As we have discussed the consequences of cyber attacks, we would be able to instrument the need of warriors. As I was mentioning, it has become a modern warfare, so we need a modern warriors. So those are called cybersecurity professionals who can defend, and it's the only way to mitigate the cyber threats. So we need to build a community of professionals who can defend them. So we are in a high time, like never before, to build a community. As I mentioned, that community should be full of cybersecurity professionals, so that our economy, that infrastructure, our privacy, everything can be safeguarded. So as I was mentioning, the demand of such cybersecurity professionals are growing. It's outstripping the supply of skilled workers. So when we are just finding out, I would say that every organization has that maybe the chair which is meant for cybersecurity specialist is almost empty. Maybe you are leaving least consideration to that. The job postings have been exploded. Nowadays, in the recent days, it has been exploded. As you can see, the cybersecurity has grown 94% in just 6 years. But the comparison of other IT jobs has grown only 30%. That's a 300% increase in demand. That means this profession has got a huge demand. Whether within the continent or across the globe, it's a huge demand. The demand for cybersecurity will continue to grow, as I can repeat and insist on it. As we get more digitally connected, everything is in the cloud, either in the COVID and post-COVID era, right? Everything is moving into the cloud. Working from home, Internet of Things. So, as I want to again repeat the same statement, as we move more into digital, the attacks and the type of threats follows us. This means this cybersecurity has become an essential skills to combat these problems. Otherwise, it is going to grow exponentially. Here are some of the chart I have just picked up from what are the losses in $1 million some of the African countries has lost. You can start from Nigeria. They almost lost like $650 million, and Kenya is almost like 210, and Tanzania is within like close to 100. Uganda is almost like close to 60 for some percentages. Ghana is almost like 50%, right? This means we are losing. This means we need that cybersecurity professionals to really address this and make sure that these losses are being reduced. When you are choosing a career in cybersecurity, this means becoming a cybersecurity specialist is more or like becoming a cyber warrior. So these are the people who really defend cyber attacks on their organizations. As I was mentioning in the introduction, there's no linear path you can get in or step in anytime into the cybersecurity. So these are the beginner. You become a cybersecurity technician, cyber crime analyst, incident analyst, or IT auditor. You're just beginning your career with these things. You have a choice of course to do. Like you can do a certification on CompTIA Security Plus. This is a course where it helps you to understand the threats, what are the measures, what are the things that we need to get into it to make sure that our system is protected. Any clarifications on this, we'll be having a question and answer session where you can just email it to me or WhatsApp me, which I'll be displaying it in the final minutes of the webinar, where you can reach me out for any clarifications on this. Then we have intermediate. Now you have moved to a certain level, so now you have begin, and now you become a cybersecurity analyst or cybersecurity consultant, penetration and vulnerability testers. This is a kind of you're in a position now to understand the types of attacks. What are the things that you should be knowing? All types of attacks. So how we know this? Most of these attacks are being understand not from the protecting point of view. We need to be in the offensive point of view, because the people who are offended are growing bigger with new skill set and everything. So just by learning and protecting the existing threats may not help us. So we have certain certifications like Certified Ethical Hacker, Cybersecurity Analyst. These trainings are really focused on what are the techniques, what are the tools used by ethical hackers to penetrate into our system. This will help us to understand the weakness or vulnerabilities which is available in our existing system, because you are now pretending to be a hacker, a white hat hacker. So that's the skills you get, and at this point you become an analyst. Actually, you can just evaluate your system, the systems what is implemented. You can just give it as a consulting point of view, and you can also be, for example, if someone is designing a mobile app, you are being invited to check all the possible ways that this mobile app can be hacked, so that they can build more and more defense mechanism, because you have consulted and you have found the loopholes based on your tools what you have used. By this time you get into an advanced level, so you become a cybersecurity manager or a cybersecurity engineer. So here are some of the certifications, like Certified Security Analyst, Certified Information Systems Auditor, Certified Information Security Manager. So you're now in a managerial role, protecting your system. So you already know what is from the ground, what are the threats, what are the mechanisms that we need to implement, what are the hacking tools which is available, what are the things that which is available, the latest type of threats, what are the ways that people can penetrate into. So you become a managerial role, and you proceed to continue with research and innovations and keep into more and more of attacks, getting to know about the attacks, and you're becoming an expert at this level of cybersecurity. So see, these are some of the 10 coolest jobs in cybersecurity. As I was explained earlier, it's a fascinating and an exciting career. So digital forensic analyst, investigator, when some crimes are happening, right, we go with the gloves, some kind of magnifying glasses, right, we analyze the crime. The same thing, we just take the footprint of the attack from the system, right, analyzing it. It's very cool actually. When someone is invited that their system is hacked, right, you get into the system and you just take the image of the system and start analyzing what would have caused. It's thrilling. Penetration tester, as I was mentioning earlier, you might be invited from an application developer, says that okay, we have implemented a system, we have implemented networks. For example, an organization as a commercial bank which has set up all their systems, and you have a job role as a profession. You come in and you try to perform all the skills, all the arts which you know to do them, and you can certify them. Okay, your system is, I cannot hack into the system because your system is protected. Or you can explain them. You see, your system has some loopholes. If this is the case, right? Application pen tester, as I was also mentioning, that any applications or mobile apps it's developed, you're being invited to do testing in various aspects of how it can be protected. A security operations center analyst, so you'll be in charge of making sure that everything is correct. You analyze the systems and you make sure that, or you recommend a standard operating procedure for to be more secure. You can also be a cyber defender or security engineer for any organization that you're becoming like a defender. Incident responder, that what are the things that has to be taken in forward, what has to be done. Security architect who designs a perfect defending mechanisms. You can also be a security software developer if you have some knowledge with coding like Python, any programming language, right? Like these firewalls, the people or the organization who make firewall, they can usually hiring you to develop the protection against the malwares, spywares, right? Like these different types of softwares that it can be developed to be protected, like a intrusion prevention system or intrusion protection system, like sensing objects. So you become if you're a good programmer, right? That's what I mentioned. There's no linear path. You can get into the cybersecurity from any profession as long as you have some coding knowledge. You can get into that as well. So malware analyst or reverse engineers, these people just try to go with a malware, or they try to reverse engineering it to see what are the systems they can do it, the malware they went with, how deep into that they can gain access to the systems, right? Then you'll also become a chief information security officer. Maybe this could be the highest position you might held, where you have the complete control of what are the things that you have been trying to protect, and moreover you're also doing an end user awareness. What are the things, designing a security policy, how an organization to be, what are the safety measures that an organization has to take care to protect these systems. Those are the things. That's the coolest job. Isn't it thrilling? See this job growth forecast for 2016 to 26, as you can say that when you are becoming a network architect or system administrator, your salary growth is almost like it's growing 28% of information security analysts. They're almost close to software developers. So a mixed of a blended skills of all the IT things, and which has been focused on a security point of view, is going to be the highest paid job. Highest pay, and the growth of it is it's increasing. As I told you, the demand is increasing. As the demand increases, right, needless to say, it's a good paying. Actually, this career it's not going to be deteriorated very soon. It's going to be flourishing as we move digitally. Attacks are happening often, and the need of us, that is cybersecurity specialists or experts, are much needed everywhere. So this is some of the salary graph, how much salary that the people from different part of cybersecurity gets. You can see the top position, Chief Information Security Officer. I think this would be very closer to a paying of CEO. So these are some of the things that it is an US figure. It's an indicator. It's a highly paid job, but we need to really be skillful to take this career as a passion, and to understand where you are, and to develop the systems or defending mechanisms to get these figures. It's cool, isn't it? So who are the typical employees of cybersecurity graduates? Technology and internet companies, defense and military organizations, many government departments and intelligence agencies, various IT companies. I think I'm mentioning everything. Almost all companies need the cybersecurity graduates. The e-commerce sector is the most targeted. E-commerce and the banking, financial, they need it must. They need to have a proper mechanisms. The online banking, what we are using, right? They should be having a cybersecurity specialist or an expert within the organization to ensure that the system, what they are delivering to the consumers, to be of confident. There's no hacking or no threats on the way. So in general, almost any organization needs it. So these are some of the employees, what we can see. As I was telling you, this has become a modern warfare. So the defense and military organizations has become more vigilant, and they have been started recruiting cybersecurity experts to be sitting with them. Actually, you're going to sit with a person who's going to carry a weapon, and you're just going to go with your laptop and just connect it, and you're going to protect the same thing what he's going to protect. Isn't this more cooler, right? You're getting more excited, I believe. Thanks for watching this. Hope you got a clear picture, an idea about what cybersecurity career is. How do you think that getting all these skills, the mentioned skills, by getting a bachelor's degree, yes, you got a choice. ISBAT University is offering a Bachelor's of Science in Networking and Cybersecurity. Doing this degree program gets you a varieties of idea in cybersecurity. Actually, when you exit the campus, you are a cybersecurity specialist with all the desired skills. ISBAT University has a dedicated facility called Cyber Vault, which was being inaugurated like 3 years ago. It's one of its kind, or the best of its kind in the region. It has all the facilities for learning, designing, implementing, testing cybersecurity. And it's one of the best digital forensic lab to be exploring. We also offer varieties of certificate programs in cybersecurity for you to choose. As we mentioned, that you can step into this career at any time. Either you decide to begin the career with cybersecurity by choosing the degree program, or you can just step in any time by choosing different courses, and you can find yourself as a cybersecurity expert. Again, thanks for watching. If you have any questions or any clarities or any further career guidance, you can reach me at my WhatsApp, or you can even write an email. You will be rightly guided regarding the cybersecurity. Thank you. God bless you.